All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today we're going to be talking about the Yieldmax funds, more specifically, why the Yieldmax funds will all go to zero. Now, if the Yieldmax funds are all going to go to zero, why would we ever invest in them if we know this? And the reason being, which I'm going to get into in this video, is it's all about how much income can a Yieldmax ETF like TSLY generate, or any other Yieldmax ETFs like NFLY, MSFO, XOMO. The reason being is how much income can they generate before they go to zero, respectively. And they might actually not hit $0 in terms of actual price. What they might do is a reverse stock split where they kind of half the number of shares that you have and then double the share price so that the stock does not go to zero. But we'll touch on that in this video and why, for the most part, most Yieldmax funds will continue to deplete in value, but it's all about how much income they bring prospectively. So we're going to talk about that in this video. If you guys do enjoy, please do remember to hit the subscribe button. We're up to 3,966 subscribers. We're getting very close to that 4,000 subscriber marker. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching, enjoying, subscribing, liking the videos. I can't do anything like this without you guys, so I want to say thank you guys for watching. And without further ado, let's get into this one. So this one, we're talking about why each of the Yieldmax funds are likely to go to zero. And the reason being is all in their fund strategy. It says the fund strategy will cap its potential gains if Tesla shares increase in value. And then on the flip side, the fund strategy is subject to all the potential losses of TSLA shares if they decrease in value, which may not be offset by the income received by the fund. So that is kind of like their little insurance claim right here. But you could see how they're capped to the upside and they're subject to all the potential losses. Well, if you are capped on the upside but can take all the potential losses of a stock, you are inevitably going to reach a share price of zero in the underlying. Because if you can't go up all the way, but you can just continue to go down and take the beating on the downside, you are inevitably going to go to zero in the fund. Now, the thing is, why would we buy TSLY? As you guys probably know, I do own about 100 shares of TSLY, which I hope shows right here. Yep, right here, 100 shares. And I own some other Yieldmax funds. I own 22 shares of SQY and I own 4 shares of Coney. And the reason being is because how much income will they be able to generate before they hit zero? Now, in theory, if this was the absolute best case scenario, the Yieldmax funds might actually never hit zero. And that would be is if the underlying stock, let's say Tesla, was to slowly increase steadily for a long period of time. If Tesla was to hit $400 in the next 3 years, for example, and steadily increase on its way up, TSLY and Yieldmax would be totally fine. But the thing is, all stocks have swings, and Tesla is definitely known to have swings. It has big swings to the upside and big swings to the downside. And the unfortunate part for TSLY is that TSLY tends to capture a lot of the downside, as you can see over the past year, without really capturing all of the upside. And that is kind of where the Yieldmax funds, that's where you have that trade-off where you're taking the potential capital gains losses for the current income. And it's true. Like these funds, you look at their prospectus, what is their objective? Their objective is to seek current income for investors. It's not necessarily out there to give you much of any capital gains or capital appreciation. It's more so for the dividend. The capital appreciation would really be the big bonus. Now, I understand when you're talking to Jay Pestricilli, who is I totally butcher his name every time. He writes the options for Yieldmax. He says he doesn't care about the price. And I've heard you guys mention this many times in the comments, which I do read and I do kind of obviously take in and understand that he doesn't care about the share price because sure, they can do a reverse stock split and you will still be receiving the 60% dividend, whatever TSLY is paying. But the thing is though, that if the stock goes down over 60% and you're only receiving about 60% in dividends, you're actually taking a loss on your position. Now, I understand you can use compounding over time. He says to reinvest constantly into the Yieldmax funds like Coney, TSLY, in order to offset that. But at the same time, it's also discouraging when, you have a stock that continues to trend downwards and you're just kind of reinvesting, but you see your capital depleting every single time. That is kind of the real downside of these Yieldmax funds. But if there is a fund for example, if you do think Tesla is going to appreciate slowly over a long period of time, then you might want to look at buying the Yieldmax underlying. But currently, I hold 3. I'm not necessarily updating my positions as I mentioned in my previous videos, so you guys know that. But I will continue to keep you guys updated on anything Yieldmax and anything like that. This is just a short little video that I wanted to mention where I do think that it is inevitable that the Yieldmax funds do go to 0 just off the fact that their income is capped, yet their downside is all there. They take all the downside to the underlying stock. But we knew that going into it. It's all about how much income TSLY is able to generate before it goes to potentially 0, or potentially they do a stock split, whichever will come first, which hopefully, you know, either scenario is not great. Hopefully that's in the far future, but who knows. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I just wanted to make a short video to bring that to your attention if you guys weren't aware. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please do remember to subscribe. We're up to 3,966 subscribers. Let's try to get to that 4,000 if we can. I want to say thank you guys for sticking around this video. If you have any ideas you want, just let me know in the comments down below and I could totally do that for you guys. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next one.